Good morning and welcome to the Morning Blend Extra. Today is Friday, May 23rd. I'm Jake Pearson. Coming up on today's show, we have some learning prodigies, a look at some new amusement parks, summer camp opportunities, and we're catching up on our legal education. But first, let's take a quick look outside at the weather forecast. So taking a look out there right now, currently we're seeing a high of 67 out there today. So of course, it's going to be a little bit cooler than what we're expecting. The high usually for today is around 74, 75. So a little bit of a cool down. Heading into Saturday and Sunday, we've got a high of 70 degrees, but of course it is nice to see the return of that sunshine these next couple of days. I know that people have been missing it across the state line. And then our Memorial Day, we are going up to 71 for a high. And as you can see there, the wind speeds not too crazy. I know lately we've been seeing wind gusts and speeds up to 40 miles per hour. So definitely a needed change there. And then as we continue into the rest of next week, a high of 69 on Tuesday with a possible chance of some rain. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we've got a high of 71 degrees and 74 degrees. And yeah, once again, definitely not a bad idea. Look at that out there. Beautiful sunshine. Get out there and enjoy some of that while we can. I know that I've definitely been feeling a little bit, isolated, been feeling indoors and things like that. So definitely been excited to go out there and enjoy the spring-like weather when it comes back. Turning to our headlines here, we have another graduation story this morning as a student of Lewis University in Romeoville graduated at just 14 years old. Reporter John Garcia spoke with the young graduate about his rare accomplishment.
It was about the smallest size they could find, but then there's not normally much need for a college cap and gown for a 14-year-old. He's still a couple of years away from being able to get a driver's license, but Benjamin Bembarak plans to walk across the Lewis University stage tonight to receive a double degree in math and computer science.
I'm very glad because that means I get done with all of the studying and all the degrees earlier. So that means I can save time for other things later when I'm older.
He was studying calculus at 5 years old. The public school told his parents he'd be wasting his time in grade school, so he was homeschooled, where he tested out of high school and junior college by the time he was 10. His father started college in the former Yugoslavia, but never finished.
I did not teach him. He did it himself. I did not teach him that.
Bembarak is the youngest graduate in Lewis University history. At an age when most kids are in middle school, he was taking advanced college courses with much older students. It was a challenge for him and for his professors.
We had to make sure that it's an inclusive environment for him.
He finished with a 3.9 grade point average, living at home rather than on campus. But Bembarak is already taking classes for his master's degree, which he expects to receive next year at this time. After that, he says he wants to start a career, possibly doing research in artificial intelligence. He says he's not much into social media or sports.
Are you interested in girls at this point?
Not at this point. Maybe later.
Trying to think about what I was doing for fun at 5. This kid was learning how to do calculus. That is just crazy. And even at 14, I mean, he's graduating college. I was probably just, too busy watching some TV shows or something. I should have been catching up on my calculus there. Turning back to some of these stories here. Universal's latest theme park, Universal Epic Universe, opened its doors to the public yesterday. The estimated $7 billion investment has doubled the resort's size, adding 750 acres and populating it with familiar movie and game characters. It features 5 themed worlds: Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, Celestial Park, Dark Universe, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. The Ministry of Magic Park recreates 1920s Paris as seen in the Warner Bros. Fantastic Beasts series, which is set in 1990s London. The main attraction, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, takes riders to the trial of witch Dolores Umbridge and culminates in a battle against the spectral Death Eaters.
Access to level 1.
We wanted to bring to life the Ministry of Magic from the movies, from the books, at full glamour, full glory, full scale. And that's, I think, what we did. And so when guests walk in, I think they will see the level of immersion, the level of detail, and just really have an amazing time.
Just super cool stuff there. I know I've actually, I don't want to get anybody jealous. I got my tickets for Epic Universe coming up this summer, so I'm getting pretty excited for that. So that was definitely a pretty cool story to see there. Well, how about a penny for your thoughts? Because today is National Lucky Penny Day. Finding a penny became associated with good luck back when it was considered a more valuable find. According to superstition, finding a penny head face up is lucky. If it's tails up, you should turn it over and leave it for the next person to find. On Thursday, the U.S. Treasury announced it will phase out production of the penny. A final order for penny blanks was accepted this month, but once those pennies are produced and go into circulation, that's it. And coming up, we'll learn about the importance of estate planning with a local expert. Don't go anywhere.
From the future, from the hard-hitting action of your Rockford Ice Hogs.
Shot on net. Slaggert scores! Takes it down to the goal line. Draped it across. They score! It's Joey Anderson with a hat trick.
Local baseball action with your Beloit Sky Car.
He's hit the wall, and that ball is gone!
To watching the best high school teams across Illinois battle in IHSA football and basketball championships. Exciting college basketball from the MVC. To the now of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Score! Here's Bernard with a shot. Scores! What a goal!
The Chicago Bulls.
Drives it all the way. Dunk it, Tobin White. Get up or get out the way.
And the Chicago White Sox. The hottest sports action can be seen on the channels of WSLN, the State Line's home for sports.
Spring in the State Line means severe weather season is here.
A powerhouse storm system.
But you're safe because you watched First Alert Weather, and you get the first alert with forecast for where you live. WIFR First Alert Weather, putting you first.
At Gray Digital Media, we craft engaging campaigns that grab attention and get results. Extending your message across all platforms. Gray Digital Media. We know local. GDMRockford.com.
At WIFR, local news is all about you. News in your neighborhood. Your first alerts to severe weather. Hometown sports. You're informed from people you trust, right here in your community, and not somewhere else. A team that's invested in your hometown as much as you are. Wherever and however you're watching, WIFR, your community, your news.
Welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. We're joined by Natalie Heiser once again of Tobin, Ramon, and Barber. My bad on that one, Natalie.
First.
Yeah, I know. We got to put your
that last time.
I know. I think maybe we have to put your name up there. So, starting things off here, the last time we were here, we sort of talked about this, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more and kind of further the conversation here. So, first things first, what is an estate and sort of like, do I have an estate? What sort of is that?
So your estate is anything that you own. It could be just your vehicle. If you're a homeowner, it's that. It doesn't have to be a big fancy mansion, and most of the times it's not.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely think that people kind of have an idea of,
They think estate planning is just for like really fancy people or like the uber wealthy people.
Right, yeah.
And people usually think that about trust too. Which really, if you own a home, you're a good candidate to have a trust.
Yes.
Because a trust helps you avoid probate, and if you have real estate, you're going to go to probate whether you have a will or not.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So, then next step here, what is estate planning?
So it's just a series of documents where we're actually making a plan, right? Because if we fail to plan, then we kind of plan to fail.
Right.
Not to be too quippy about it. But it's a series of documents, so it's not just a will. I have people that call up my office and they say, how much for just a will? And I always think, you're asking the wrong question.
Yes.
So we have our estate planning, I guess we call them bundles or packages, where it's a few documents and a will might be the foundation of those.
Gotcha.
But then you need your deed and your powers of attorney and your HIPAA release and all that good stuff. So that whole set of documents, document suite, if you will, that becomes your estate plan.
Very interesting.
So we have it where the will is the foundation or the trust is the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously, you're kind of going through all these terms, but why would somebody really want an estate plan?
So with an estate plan, if you do the full estate plan, you don't do, just a will, so to speak, then the powers of attorney, those are convenience documents and emergency documents during your life. So to sort of plan for whatever life may throw at you while you're alive. And then your will or your trust, those are the documents for after you're gone so that your loved ones are still okay after you're gone.
Yes.
So an estate plan would give you protection and help and convenience now and then continue for your loved ones after you pass away.
Yes, absolutely. It's kind of that thought of foresight, always a very important thought there. And, obviously, again, thinking about that forethought, that foresight, how often should somebody kind of review their plans and go over, make any changes or anything like that?
Yeah, so sometimes it happens naturally. I have a client, and we have a real estate closing for this client next week. He and his wife, they own a small business, and so I helped them with some business things. We got their LLC started, because I do that work too. And then, they got married, had some kids, bought a house, and we did their estate planning. And now they're buying an investment property. And so we naturally get to check in, because let's say I wrote their trust a couple years ago, and then next week they're buying more property.
Right.
They're going to have a natural conversation with me, because it follows that, well, how should I take title to this property?
Right.
Oh, we're going to put it in that trust we drafted for you. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
And then sometimes, at the real estate closing, or just because now we've interacted, because we're all so busy, then we'll probably have a conversation about the rest of their documents.
Right.
So I would say about if you have an estate plan, every 3 to 5 years, it's a good idea to check in. Major changes in life, like a birth, a death, a retirement, maybe you move. And then just to check in with your lawyer, because maybe the law has changed.
Yes.
The wheels of justice turn very slowly, and in the transactional world, even more slowly sometimes. So that's not quite often the case. But for some of my clients where we're doing tax minimization, so if they're kind of in the multi-million-dollar range, there are some bills to be passed on the books down in DC that could affect these tax planning trusts. So, and we do free consultations for that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, certainly that's wonderful.
Just to check in.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Nice little cherry on top there. Right. Never bad
We'll give
thing.
you a quote. It's like getting your car fixed. Quotes are free.
Yeah.
The work's not free, but I won't make you buy an air filter. So.
Yeah. Gosh, I'll tell you, those air filters, man, they're always trying to upsell
They get you with that. They show it to you, and I'm like, I don't know. Do I need a new one?
Yeah. And you're talking about all of these milestones here, and obviously you're not just talking about kind of that end of life milestone. So when is it really a good idea to kind of get started on an estate plan?
Yeah, so honestly, so if you're a kid and you're about to go off to college, you may not want this, but your parents are going to want this for you, where you, the 18-year-old kid, so when you're 18, you would be the client, and you would name one or both of your parents, or whoever your trusted adults are, as your power of attorney. For healthcare, so that if you have an accident while away at college, your parents can actually help you in real time, even from far away.
Yeah.
And then that power of attorney for property. The only way that your parents can technically check on your grades or pay your tuition or do anything having to do with your stuff is through that power of attorney for property. Because once you're 18, it's your stuff, and your parents can't get in.
Wow.
So I have parents that say, hey kid, you're doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least for the property one for grades.
Yes, holy cow.
At the very least, the healthcare one is really important, so that parents have peace of mind sending those kids off to college.
Yeah.
And then if you own a vehicle or any significant, what we call personal property, you should have a will. And if you're a homeowner or you own some land or anything that we consider real property, you should have a trust.
Yeah.
To avoid probate.
And then obviously, talking about this stuff, it can sometimes be a touchy subject for some people. So for you guys over there, how do you guys help guide your clients, through that process comfortably?
Yeah, so I usually let the client start the conversation. In our little client intake form, it kind of says something to the effect of well, who referred you to us and why are you here? And then people will say, talk about a trust or will versus trust or estate plan, or I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So then I say, let me tell you why you're here.
Right.
But I usually kind of let the clients take the lead, and I sort of say, well, what can you tell me? What do you want to talk about? And then we talk about as much or as little as the client is comfortable with.
Right.
Sometimes people are just shopping, and they just want to decide if I'm the right lawyer for them, which is fine. So then it almost becomes an interview, which I'm fine with.
Right.
Sometimes they're just wanting to get educated. So maybe they forgot to tune in today.
Yes.
And then I almost do what we're doing now, like a private estate planning seminar for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people are just ready. You know, they're like, hey, I'm burning daylight. Where do I sign?
Hey, and you're good at it too. So that's always a plus there too. Yes, absolutely. Well, hey, that is all the time that we have here for our interview. Natalie, thank you so much again for coming on.
My pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for help in putting together an estate plan, you can check out Tobin, Ramon, and Barber at 530 South State Street in Belvedere, or you can head to tobinramon.com. Natalie, thank you so much again for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. And coming up next, we'll take a visit to the Discovery Center and find out what's happening there over the summer when we come back.
From the future, From the hard-hitting action of your Rockford Ice
Shot
Hawks
on net. Slaggert scores! Takes it down to the goal line. Draped it across. They score! It's Joey Anderson with a hat trick.
local baseball action with your Beloit Skycar,
He's at the wall, and that ball is gone!
to watching the best high school teams across Illinois battle in IHSA football and basketball championships. Exciting college basketball from the MVC. To the now of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Score! Here's Bernard with a shot. Scores! What a goal!
The Chicago Bulls.
Drives it all the way. Dunk it, Tobin way. Get up or get out the way.
And the Chicago White Sox. The hottest sports action can be seen on the channels of WSLN, the State Line's home for sports.
Spring in the State Line means severe weather season is here.
A powerhouse storm system.
But you're safe because you watched First Alert Weather, and you get the first alert with forecast for where you live. WIFR First Alert Weather, putting you first.
At Gray Digital Media, we craft engaging campaigns that grab attention and get results. Extending your message across all platforms. Gray Digital Media. We know local. GDMRockford.com.
At WIFR, local news is all about you. News in your neighborhood. Your first alerts to severe weather. Hometown sports. You're informed from people you trust, right here in your community, and not somewhere else. A team that's invested in your hometown as much as you are. Wherever and however you're watching, WIFR, your community, your news.
Welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. The Discovery Center is offering summer camps and lots of educational and family fun events. WIFR's Aaron Wilson got a chance to visit and find out more.
Welcome to the Discovery Center. Our good friend Sylvia with us. Hello.
Hi.
A lot of activity going
Yes,
on back
there is.
there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And you know, for folks who might not realize what the Discovery Center is, you drive by it all the time, you see it
Right.
over here, maybe you hear about it on the news. What happens here at the Discovery Center? Give us an overview of this location.
Yeah, of course. So Discovery Center is a children's museum in Rockford, Illinois, and we offer children hands-on experiences in the sciences and art. So our mission is to inspire children to explore and dream without any limitations. So we have a lot of exciting summer events as well as educational opportunities coming up this summer.
And we'll get to those in just a little bit, but I'm always surprised when I talk to people and we'll be here with a show or a segment like we're doing right now, and they're like, you know, we've never been there, we've never taken the kids there, and I'm always surprised by that, and you've got to be too.
I am, yeah. It's amazing how a school coming out, a lot of kids want to come and play, and we have summer camps, and yeah, there's lots of fun things to do. We have a couple new exhibits as well, so there's always going to be something new to do.
Let's talk about Fridays, and as
Yeah.
we do start to transition now into summer, keeping the family active, and you're going to have a great way to do that on Fridays. Different
Exactly.
themed events, is
Different
it? or-
themed events, yeah. So every Friday during the summer, starting June 13th and ending August 8th, we'll have a Family Friday event. It's from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's included with membership or general admission. So our first one is Summer Splashdown. We'll have a foam party. It'll be a lot of fun character appearances. But I'm really excited for Puppy Pals. That one's our live comedy show.
Do you think that'll be the most popular?
That's my prediction. That's
Okay,
from the
okay.
past experiences, yeah.
And why do you think that one will be the most popular? I
I
mean,
think-
obviously you got the history that goes along with it, but
Yeah.
it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. And it features rescued and adopted puppies, and they come and they perform comical stunts and tricks, and they jump through hoops and all of that. And the kids love dogs, so that's why I think it'll be.
You mentioned a couple new exhibits. I'm quite familiar with the one behind us, the Ag exhibit, because you get an opportunity to be a farmer, that type of thing. But what are the new exhibits?
Yeah, we have two new exhibits. The one is the lab. That one was in sponsorship with Thermo Fisher.
Oh, cool.
So kids can come and explore and experience what it's like to be a real lab scientist. So we have microscopes and scales. And then our other new exhibit is called Melody in Motion, and that one's a music exhibit. So we have a drum circle, a musical waterfall, a mood room, and those are both on our second floor, and people have really liked those.
You mentioned education, and that is key here. I mean, you have fun while you learn.
Exactly.
And there's going to be some educational opportunities coming up this summer, right?
Yep. We have our summer camps. So those are from ages 3 to 5, and then we have older camps for ages 6 to 8 and 9 to 11. So we have, some of our themes are flying fun. We have colorful chemistry. We have a Dragons and Vikings summer camp. So a lot of really cool themes.
I can't believe we're talking about this right now, but it's time to start thinking about what to do with the kids this summer. Perfect spot right here at the Discovery Center. In the short time we've been doing this interview, we've already seen a lot of parents walking by with their kids along with the field trip that's going on. I'm sure those summer camps will be here full throttle. Is it a good idea to think about getting a membership so that you can come experience this anytime you want?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And we have member mornings as well. We have discounts for classes for people who are members. And then of course our Family Fridays are included with membership. So that's all free with our annual pricing, yep.
As many times as I've been here, I always forget how huge it really is. But once you get in here and you turn the kids loose,
it is.
You've got a lot of space in there.
We do, and then we also have our park, our outdoor park. So with summer coming and the new fresh weather, hopefully kids can get their energy out and spend some time outside as well.
Yes, and that park is quite the maze. What I like about being out in the park is when you do that communication thing.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Do a little hollering through that, and it just works. It's like magic.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Well, a lot of folks get an opportunity to enjoy Discovery Center here. And again, check out what they've got going on for Fridays. Love those theme events. And we should brag about your staff too. They do such an incredible job with kids.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
And adults alike, because there's a lot of opportunity for adults too. In fact, I was telling you, you want to go over and do the pulley system?
Oh, yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
That'd be
cool.
fun.
A lot of fun here at Discovery Center. Make sure you check them out. Best place to go to get all the information. Do they want to look at your website, your Facebook page?
Our website is a great place to start. We list all of our classes and people can register on there as well. And then we also have our social media, Instagram and Facebook.
Excellent. I noticed over the years too, Sylvia, it's a good idea to gift memberships. Sometimes you get those memberships as a gift for a birthday present, for the holidays, that type of thing. And it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly, yeah. And we also have our gift certificates as well if you want to spend a little less. But yeah, our memberships are very valuable.
Excellent. And also the gift shop too. There's a lot of great gift ideas in there, as you would well expect. And all those have to do with learning as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much fun. All right, should we get back there, go at it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Discovery Center.
You can head to the Discovery Center, which is located at 711 North Main Street in Rockford. If you'd like to register for a summer camp or learn more about some of those upcoming events, you can call the number on screen or head to discoverycentermuseum.org. Just a fun place to head out to for the summer and with the family for sure. Coming up next, the final installment in one of the longest ongoing movie franchises hits theaters this weekend.
From the future. From the hard-hitting action of your Rockford Ice Hawks.
Shot on net. Slaggert scores! Takes it down to the goal line. Draped it across. They score! It's Joey Anderson with a hat trick.
Local baseball action with your Beloit Skycar.
He's at the wall, and that ball is gone!
To watching the best high school teams across Illinois battle in IHSA football and basketball championships. Exciting college basketball from the MVC. To the now of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Score! Here's Bernard with a shot. Scores! What a goal!
The Chicago Bulls.
Drives it all the way. Dunk it, Tobin White. Get up or get out the way.
And the Chicago White Sox. The hottest sports action can be seen on the channels of WSLN, the State Line's home for sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. The first Mission Impossible movie came out nearly 30 years ago. Now the 8th and final film in the Tom Cruise-led franchise is here. David Daniel has a preview.
Smart people on every side are close to panicking. What exactly is your plan?
Ethan Hunt tries to save the world from the entity in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Tom Cruise and writer-director Christopher McQuarrie cap 3 decades of the franchise, trying to outdo themselves once more.
Every day something new, but the two of them come in with such a high level of enthusiasm, optimism. We can do this. that you're like, okay, I believe.
Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
It's amazing. I think McHugh did an incredible job to kind of look back into the previous films, you know, acknowledge them as part of the history and bring them into the narrative very cleverly.
Your team has been betrayed, Ethan. All your secrets compromised.
We care about these films because we care about his story, we care about who he is, and we care about the team that's created around him.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. This was your calling, your destiny. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Definitely super excited for Mission Impossible. I know I've got my tickets here coming up tonight. Maybe I'll have to let you guys know on Monday coming up here for WIFR News at noon. But that's going to wrap up the Morning Blend Extra for today. Again, we'll be back in just a couple of